Alright, we're going to do another little demo. This one is going to be about looping animations once you have your mocap retargeted. Uh, so let's see. There's going to be a little extra stuff, maybe. So I'm just going to go through the whole thing again, kind of like like I would be doing it, so you can get the big picture kind of idea. So I drop this skeleton in here, and this is conveniently one that is really easy to deal with for whatever reason. You know, it already has by default this T-pose stance at the very beginning of it before it starts doing whatever it's going to do, and that just makes it lovely. And so you'll see right now I have my character set up. He's character 1, and the definition is already applied. I had saved the scene already like that. I opened the scene, and then it's the first character, the character that I want to have retargeted to, is already there, already set up, and the definition is already loaded. Then I just dropped in my FBX, this little other animation, and I did a few of these already, and I just copy and pasted some of what I was doing from the script editor, and basically it will automatically it already knows the names. And in fact, the part of the reason I did it was because the names are weird. Let's see. So you can see that it's got these really freaking weird names. So partly the script is gonna fix all the names so that I can create a definition for these skeletons, because they were all the same. And so you can see right now it's weird. I run it, and it even positions it and everything. And now you'll see the names are better. They're like mocap left upper arm, mocap left forearm, etc. And it loaded the definition and all that too. So this is all done. So now all I have to do is go to character 1, source character 2, already done that. Bake it. And this skeleton right here, this mroot, mcog, etc. This scene is kind of a separate little scene, but this is actually the same skeleton. Well, I have a duplicate chain that's these identical, all these identical nodes in my actual rig. And you'll see why that's going to be useful, because I basically have a separate scene set up that I just use to do this. Just do the raw sort of retarget, and then I'll switch over to my my rig, and then I will just, and you'll see I can turn on the so you can see the mocap when I'll import the little mocap I just created, and this skeleton is already in there. It just overrode the animation that was on it, and that's not that big of a deal or anything, but it's just useful. Let's see, and then I have a script. I'll bake it to my actual rig, and that's going to take a second. I still really need to figure out a more efficient way to do this, because in this scene, I guess because of the way I have it set up, it's got just like hundreds of skin clusters. Each little piece has its own individual sort of skin. It's not like one big skin for everything, and that has really slowed things down. And I'll turn off the fucking ambient occlusion too. That doesn't help. But again, the idea is going to just be the main thing is still coming up, where I'm just going to show you how to loop it. Give it another second to finish. There, I baked a bunch of extra nodes I didn't need to. Alright, so now this is actually applied to my rig, this animation. And that's important. Alright, so now what I want to kind of do is, there's a couple issues here. The first one is that it's actually moving forward, and that's just going to make it really tedious to work with. It's actually like moving back and forth. There's a number of ways to deal with that. One of them is to, fortunately I got a node in my rig. I just turned this on and it doesn't do it anymore. Yay. But aside from that, what you can do is, when you're doing the original retarget, you can just select that node, this one, I'm going to undo the bake. Okay, so you can do something like find the node that is actually moving it forward, and it's kind of obvious. Yeah, it's this one. It's real distinct looking. It will be this translate Z, and it's moving forward, you know, in a straight line. You can basically just delete all that. And then it'll just kind of stand still. And maybe you even want to move it closer. Let's see. This. You know, just move it kind of closer to the default position. So you can kill it before, you know, you even exit this, and that's a good place to start, I think. It's kind of the same, similar principle to what I'm doing here. So then you'll like find a position. I like to find one where like the leg is maybe like going straight down with the body, and so let's see, the leg is going straight down, and I'll start to adjust the timeline, and then you just kind of go through the whole thing until you're back in the same position roughly. So I'm somewhere like there, like 52. What the fuck? 52. And you can kind of, a good way to kind of test how close you are is you just select the, you know, just click the ends, and maybe 51 is closer. Yeah, 51 is closer. So I'll just, that's pretty much it. I mean, and if we'll see what it looks like. I'm sure you'll see a skip. Yeah, it's pretty obvious. You know, you got this skip. It's not perfect. It is kind of actually remarkably close. But it's pretty straightforward to get rid of it. So what you do is, you know, well, this is where you have your that HIK rig, which it's kind of painful because it does FK and IK simultaneously. So sometimes it's confusing about, which should you be using, the IK skeleton or the FK skeleton. I don't think it really matters. You'll have to mess with that to try to figure out exactly which nodes you need to do this process on. But what I do is I select all of the basically my main rig controllers. I just have a little icon for that. Select all that stuff. Create an animation layer. Here you got display layers, render layers, animation layers, and whatever you have selected is gonna be keyable on the animation layer. So because I'm selecting everything, everything is going to be keyable. So then I'll actually click onto the animation layer so that it's highlighted. Go to the very beginning, set a key on everything by hitting S, and then what you do is middle mouse drag to the end, and you'll see nothing moved. Nothing moved because that's just what a middle mouse drag does. Set another key, which is basically you copy and that. Essentially, what you did is you copy and pasted the same keys from the beginning to the end, and then I will go back a few frames, like maybe around here, and set another key. So, and you'll see right now it's not going to really work. There's still a hiccup, I believe. Oh wow. Did kind of seem to work. It's got a weird pause in it though, I don't understand. Part of it is I got my playback set to be, it's like playing every frame, so maybe if I just go to 50, because that one frame is duplicating. Maybe that's why it looks weird. There it is. And for some reason it worked out pretty easily. Sometimes I'll notice it doesn't want to work, and the thing that I usually do to fix that is for the animation layers, you have these you can basically create an additional animation for the layer itself, turning the layer on and off. And this says 0 weight and click key layer. So essentially what I would do is I would 0 this one, 0 this one, and then my last frame that I copied to make loop, I'll key that one on. So basically what happens is you're starting here, and nothing, and you're just playing the base animation layer all the way up into this point where you have it set to 0, and then it slowly blends into 1. So basically right here at the end, all of a sudden it's going to change over into the base the animation layer where you basically copied in that first frame. Let's see how it looks now. It didn't seem to really affect anything because it already kind of had worked out for whatever reason. And a kind of important note is you're going to want to like these animation layers will not export. You have to select one, shift select the other, merge layers, and it basically will collapse everything into one layer, and then you can export it. And you can continue. So like in this case, I don't like these hands are interpenetrating. The head is in a weird position, so I just selected a couple things. I'm going to select these as well. Okay, and it's going to let me kind of adjust the pose overall. And so I'll select all those, create a new layer, and I'll set a key at the beginning, set a key on everything, and then I can just kind of go through, pull the hands out, and I can select everything in my little picker too, adjust it. Adjust the position. His chest is kind of weird. I don't know what's up with that. This is weird, just the way the skeleton is set up or something. And just a kind of little note is, when you're messing with the animation layers, you got to remember that whatever you selected whenever you created the layer is the only things you're going to be able to key. If you go and start selecting the feet now, it'll move, but as soon as you start it'll move like temporarily, but as soon as you play it, it won't remember that you did anything. And what'll happen is, it kind of takes a little while for it to sink in. But if I did want to add the feet, I could, select the feet controllers, and then right-click and add selected objects to the layer, and then you could key it, and then everything would be fine. But you'll see now those little adjustments that I made, because they're just on that one layer. They're just that one key. Oh, that's weird. What the fuck? Now, set my key, move it over. Yeah, and the playback is really slow, but I like to do that because I'm kind of analyzing. And you'll do a lot of tweaking like that, trying to make it not bounce around too much and smooth it out. This one actually turned out decent for as little effort as I put in. Alright, that's it. Just let me know if you have any questions or whatever.